the East. For some of you, how many of you have heard of us by chance? You're relatively new. I love that because we're pretty new to this market entirely. We've been operating in KC for maybe a little over a year, but up until this bottle and bond release, for me, this is what we've kind of circled our company around wanting to start with. So everything up into this has kind of felt like a preseason. So I'm very happy to be out here with our product today to finally share and talk about that and talk a little bit about switchgrass, our processing, our recipes, and what we like to focus on. So today in front of you for the tasting, left to right. First off, I'm also not a salesman, not a marketer, I'm a distiller. So you're gonna bear with me if I'm a little rough around the edges. That's why we're pouring last second here. I don't do this very often. This is actually like the third class I've taught, so bear with me. But in front of you, the spirits from left to right. We're gonna have our straight bourbon, straight rye, our bottle and bond bourbon, bottle and bond rye, and then we're gonna finish on our copperhead, which is a rock and rye. That has sugar in it, it's sweet, so it's gonna be the dessert. We don't want to coat our palate with that. So a little bit about switchgrass. We're, as a business, about 6 years old. We've been distilling for around 5 years. So in whiskey terms, nascent. We're a baby company. 5-6 years is nothing. But in that time, we've really just focused on the bourbon, rye, and the apple brandy. We don't do gin, we don't do vodka, we don't do agave, tequila, spirits, wine, malt liquor, or anything else. We really just hone in on things we know and what we like to drink, and that's bourbon, rye, and brandy. We like to speak to those at a very high level and really focus those and not dilute ourselves. We're a 3-person company, so to invite any more in our portfolio really would spread us thin, so we really want to focus on these particular products. Who here is familiar with sourcing spirits? Source spirits? Okay. So we don't source spirits. We never sourced an ounce of spirit. Sourcing generally means, and a lot of distilleries do this, I would say the bulk of distilleries are sourced spirits. That means they're buying a product from somewhere else and putting it in their own bottle. So they don't really make the product, they're just marketing it. They may finish it, they may blend it, they may be expert blenders. There's nothing wrong with that. It's great. That's not what we do. We focus on a very high-end, high-touch, front to back, soup to nuts policy. So we do literally, we are a true grain to glass distillery. I don't own a farm. I am in the city of St. Louis. Probably wouldn't want to do that. So we do buy the grain. I don't grow the grain. So you can only go a little bit further in authenticity if you actually grow the grain. So we'll start off with our the bourbon, the straight bourbon, and I'll kind of walk through some of our process of what we do differently, and also walk through some general tasting notes, and maybe do some light how to taste as well. So the bourbon in front of you on your left side is a 92 proof straight bourbon. So for those that don't know, bourbon must be at least 51% corn, new oak container. This bourbon is a minimum of 2 years old in this particular blend. It is a wheated bourbon. It's 63% corn, 25 wheat, and 12 barley. So that's also known as, a lot of people call that a Lexington style bourbon. It's going to be similar to Buffalo Trace, Weller. It's a wheated product. It's going to be soft, round. This is 92 proof. We don't chill filter, so we keep it everything. All of our spirits are generally at a pretty high proof. We let you add the water and add the ice and knock it down if you need to. So start high and you can work yourself into where it needs to be. Now, as far as the flavor goes, 80 to 90% of your flavor is going to come like on the nose. That's going to tell you the most of the spirit, what's happening in the spirit, and most of the flavor is going to be on the nose. It's most of your palate. The rest is going to be your palate, so the mouthfeel, what it actually tastes like in your mouth. You're going to get a lot of spice, you're going to get a lot of roundness, and texture in that part. And the final part to look for is the finish. So that's your fats, your oils. These are things that are nice to take into consideration when you're making cocktails as well. They're good. There's fats and oils that create a lot of binders in there. And those are nice aspects. If you have a really thick whiskey, that's gonna really help like make a good fat cocktail. Like it's gonna give you a lot of product to work with. So we like to do pretty heavy cuts on our tails, and we do have a pretty thick body to it. On the nose, you're gonna notice it's gonna be honey, vanilla. It's gonna be a little lighter than our bourbon. We use mostly char 3 barrels. Those are a little lighter barrel than the like the alligator char 4 that you would maybe associate more with like a wild turkey. It's gonna have that alligator char. It's gonna be a little deeper, more caramely. Ours is gonna be a little bit more on the honey vanilla side. You're gonna notice also on the nose, you're gonna get most of your fruit notes. We notice apples, cherries, pears. Now those are common flavors that are byproducts of your fermentation process. And feel free to taste as I'm talking to you. But our